through your freedom.
I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. No, it really has been a tough first year for you, Mr. President. Gas is up, gas is up, gas is up, everything. Rent is up, everything, everything, everything. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything.
We had that put together years ago for Biden, and sadly today, folks, I filled up the pickup truck with gasoline, and for regular gas, the cheap stuff, down in the state of Florida, I paid over $3.60 a gallon. Not good. Not good for Trump, not good for the economy, not good for the Republicans, not good for Trump, not good for my wallet. I don't know what you're paying or what's going on in your world, but inflation is a very real problem. Now, knowing all the politicians, they're going to blame the other guys, and the other guys are going to blame the other guys, and it's nobody's fault except you and I didn't cause these fucking problems. In any event, folks, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. As I stated this morning on 0 Dark 30, I'm back, I'm alive, apparently I'm healthy and everything. Had some either 24-hour flu or food poisoning or something crazy. Wasn't pretty, wasn't comfortable, but hey, that which does not kill us makes us stronger, wrote Friedrich Nietzsche. I think he might have been German. All right, so let's start out. Now listen, I know the Charlie Kirk stuff is out there. I know the conspiracy theories are out there. I know Candace Owens and now Tucker Carlson and Matt Gaetz and Marge Taylor Greene, Big Marge, they're actually joining the side of it was them. I know we might get to that, but you guys do your questions down below. I got some other stuff that's very, 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 very important. Once again, when they point over there and say, look at that, I like to look the other way and see what else is going on. We're continuing to have problems, folks, more than just Charlie Kirk. In York County, not England, not Hampshire, not Scotland, but York County, Pennsylvania, we've had a shooting involving police, but it is the police and multiple police who have been shot. This is a developing story, and I think, folks, it really is symptomatic of other things going on in our world. I still don't know how you can be a law enforcement officer and shit on the Constitution and shit on Americans. And not all police are like that, but a lot of them are. And I know this because I know police, and I know police. And I've talked to police for decades. And they're quite often they're frank. Sometimes they're Bill, sometimes they're George, but often they're frank. That was a good one. Anyways, they'll tell you the truth. You're like, you know what? We don't care. We're told not to care. I don't care. I'm dealing with criminals all day. I don't have time. It's too dangerous. But I get it. Okay. That's the world we have now because of what the Democrats have done. So how can law enforcement be supporting Democrats? Because all they do is encourage crime, reward crime, not punish crime, encourage more crime, and allow crime. And the police are like, yeah, give us your money or give us our money to elect you so we get more. All cops are bastard and defund the police. And now we're getting a lot more police officers shot. Oh, you think it's bad now? Wait until the rest of our good buddies here in America start getting nasty. I'm not just talking about the ghetto slimes and the gangs. I'm talking about the Mexican gangs and the Central American gangs and the South American gangs. I'm talking about the radicalized jihadi jackasses in our country. They're not going to have any problem. What do they care? What do they care? All righty. Let us continue into this wackadoo Wednesday. Folks, does everyone remember the journalist Andy Ngo? It's Ngo. I don't know how to spread. Is it Ngo, Nigo, Nago, Nugo, Ngo? Anyways, he has a quote, and I found it fascinating. He wrote, I hope that it's been eye-opening for the public to see the bloodlust of the left. It's been eye-opening for the public, as in John Q. Public, who doesn't pay attention to shit. But now they've seen everybody on the left coming out, and it's not just the stupid-ass furries. It's not just the transgender morons. It's just not the flaming butt pirates. It's not just the wacko left political people who don't matter. It's high-level Democrats. In fact, I think No Nads Jerry Nadler today took a swipe at Charlie Kirk. It's not just the upper-level politicians. It's fucking doctors, nurses, pilots, everybody, CEOs of companies, small business owners and big ones. And they're just showing us their hatred and their willingness to accept, condone, and even encourage and fund murder and assassination. Now, for those who don't know, Andy Ngo is a gay man. Doesn't matter. He was attacked by Antifa types, BLM types. He was bashed in the skull. He was hospitalized, suffered serious brain damage, almost died. But it doesn't matter that he was gay. He was the media, and he wasn't giving them the type of attention they wanted. So they saw him, recognized him, targeted him, and attacked him, trying to kill him. And I've been saying Andy Ngo's name for years and reminding everyone he's gay. Doesn't matter. They don't care. If you don't toe the line, they will do whatever they can to kill you. Bashed in the head. What crazy business. So he's back out going, right. I hope that the public has opened their eyes and they know who and where and what the evil is. And I think that I think he's right. I think we finally gotten there. I really do. All right, let me save that one for later. There's a big deal going on in Europe. I don't think really anyone is paying attention. Thank you for that, Mr. Uman, Mr. Andy Ngo. Journalist, citizen journalist, blogger, blah, 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 whatever. He is famous, and he gets in there, and he used to cover that stuff. Anyways, did you know that in Europe, we're on the brink of an expansion in World War III? Many people don't even know we're in World War III. But World War III is not just bombs and rockets and tanks and soldiers. It's also, war today is economic, it's social, it's psychological. Of course, education is a part of it, right? It crosses cultural lines, everything, right? If there's a way to fuck with people, hurt them, steal from them, cause them death, pain, suffering, in other words, for the enemy to win in some fashion, they'll do it. And it's not like this is new, but it's a science. The science of destroying and taking over a country. And as you know, or you should know, the CIA is at the forefront of doing that. They've been there since World War II, and they are masters at that. Don't worry, they're acolyte students in MI6 and Mossad are good buddies. They're all in it together. I have no love, compassion for any of those groups. So I just said Europe is on the brink of an expansion of World War III. This is interesting, folks. Did you know there's a little country called Moldova? Yeah, it's just to the west of Ukraine. Not east. That's the Russia side, right? Moldova's to the west, closer to Greece or Macedonia or whatever those countries are over there, right? But apparently there's something called the anti-Trump project. That's interesting, don't you think? An anti-Trump project is being led by, well, none other than our good friends in the European Union and NATO. They don't like that Trump is trying to get out of that war and bring peace. So what are they doing? It's been released. It's been leaked or released, or just finally the public's, it's out in the public sector, and it's going to start making its way into the news cycle if they can pull this off. What they want to do is send into Moldova, which is opposite direction from Russia. They want to send Ukrainian troops in there. Why would they do that? Why would Ukraine, a peace-loving country, no, they're not. It's run by a fascist fucking dictator, Zelensky. That country had their government overthrown in 2014 while Obama was president. They installed a puppet government, and then they got Voldemort Zelensky in there, their little sissy bitch on strings, and he does whatever they say. Now, there's a coup d'etat going on in Moldova. In other words, oh yeah, I just mentioned that, didn't I? Taking over other countries. That's what the CIA does. That's what Mossad does. That's what MI6 does in Britain, right? I'm sure Interpol is involved too. I don't think those people are innocent at all. I have no love for any of these high-level, super secret squirrel-type organizations. Now, they want to assist in Moldova to overthrow the legitimately elected government. So they're going to bring in Ukrainian troops to fight alongside of them? Well, guess what? This is where this is going. The anti-Trump project wants to do this so that Ukraine can join forces with Moldova. And now they have more army to go over and fight Russia. Because, well, Germany and France and England, they don't want to send their own troops over there to get killed. And I don't know anybody that really knows jack shit about Moldova. So what would we care if they kill them off? Well, I care a lot. I've been screaming and yelling for years now that little flaming belly dancing fruitcake of a leader in Ukraine is committing genocide on his own people. Right? The reports on this anti-Trump project are not 100% clear. And the situation is, as they like to say in a coup d'etat, it is a fluid situation. But European Union and NATO, they have to figure out how to keep the war going. They're running out of troops, and they don't have weapons and money and anything else. I mean, Zelensky, he would be more than willing to send his troops into Moldova to get more, I don't know what they could steal, beg and borrow, but then take all of their army and military. He would have a whole nother country to grab people out of and force them into, it's known as conscription, folks, or a draft, force them into a war where they go get slaughtered. Sounds like maybe Moldova might be annexed by Zelensky in Kiev, huh? Anyways, the little ethnic star boy Zelensky, he's committed genocide against his own nation. So what does he care? He'll allow his country to be used to spread death throughout Europe. And the European Union is part and parcel to this. And what I find fascinating, folks, is Europe is pissed off at Israel over Gaza. And I think rightfully so. What is happening there is absolutely disgusting. And as I've said, I don't like any of them. I don't like the Gaza people and Palestinians. I don't like the fucking Israel country. I don't like the countries around them. I don't like any of these people because they're killing everyone. They're killing Muslims. They're killing Jews. They're killing Christians. Everyone. But now let's bring in another country. All right. All they're concerned about is death and lining their pockets with wealth. Okay. I tell you, folks. I tell you. Where do I go? I'm trying to stay away from the Charlie Kirk stuff. Oh, my goodness. Let's do this. You're going to love this. I got a shit pile of stuff here. I was told today that there is a transgender influencer out there who is now backpedaling, backing up the train, trying to not be offensive and say, as a transgender person, if you cut off your genitals, you're still not a girl. It's like, we've been saying that for years. Why are you saying it, fruitcake? And he said, well, if you take your dog in to get neutered, does that make it a girl dog? It's like, yeah, we've been saying that for years. What we're witnessing right now, folks, is backlash against the violence of the left. the eye-opening violence that Andy Nago talked about. They're trying to clean up their act and their image. Sorry, you have trans militias out there making death threats galore, training with weapons, telling everyone they're under attack, and I don't know anybody killing trannies except trannies. So this guy's out there trying to make the case. It's like, you're still a fruitcake. You still have a mental disorder. Cutting your genitals off and pretending to look like someone while still going, well, I actually am a man. No, you're not. Now you're a fucking eunuch. And you did it to yourself. And you dress like a girl. You see, that's the problem. You're dressing like a girl. You're trying to look like something you're not. Well, makeup and hair is just a social construct. So is law and order. That's a social construct too. Morality is a social construct too. Social behavior and graces are a construct too. But you fucking people violate the shit out of that. Right? Because of a mental disorder. Watch them, folks. They're going to back this shit up. If you remember, and I'll remind you because I like to remind you, when all of those fruitcake, butt pirate, monkeypox-ridden freaks in San Francisco, hundreds of them came out and were singing a song. Absolutely singing a song about, we're going to convert your children. We're going to take the children. And they put this out on social media. They put this out on the internet. Right? Oh, it's a beautiful chorus of a bunch of perverted perverts. Right? And the world saw it and got really upset. And they're like, oh, we were just joking about the kids. We wouldn't do that. And then the next year they're in schools with drag queens. Teachers are showing up with colored hair. I mean, it took off. That was not a Hitler salute. I just raised my hand like this. I didn't put my palm out. Anyways, yeah, these people sang that song. They got yelled at for it and they backed up. Oh, no, we didn't mean it. It was a joke. And now look what they're doing. Look at what they've done. Yeah, crazy business. I tell you, folks, they're not going to go away. They're going to try and clean up their bullshit act. They're going to try and clean it up. Okay, let's see here. What else have I got? I got all kinds of crazy shit because I got 2 days worth of stuff, I got cool 2 days worth of stuff. There's a penalty. There should be a penalty for being a communist, a Muslim, or someone who hates Christians, because this nation was founded on basic moral principles that can be found in the Old and New Testament, right? It's a Christian nation. It's a deist nation is actually how it was brought in, but the deity was the Christian Bible. In any event, they're trying to destroy that. And they're getting caught, the left. So now we've got some big news. But what government started doing, and I hope you've caught on to this, is they will call someone out for what they've done wrong, start an investigation, and then nothing fucking happens. Time and time and time again. So now we have oversight chairman of the House, James Comer, and Representative Anna Paulina Luna. They're telling Treasury Secretary Bessent to freeze all assets of Code Pink billionaire and Code Pink funder Neville Singham. Now, here's the deal. Code Pink is associated with anti-Christian Muslim Brotherhood, anti-American Muslim Brotherhood, pro-terrorist Muslim Brotherhood. So they've got the money and how it's moving tracked. They've got to figure it out. I don't know why Secretary Bessent would not freeze an American account holder for funding terrorism. It used to be a fucking crime to fund them, to launder their money, to work with them in any way. How can funding Code Pink, literally, how can that not be worse than assassinating Americans directly? It's indirectly killing Americans and people around the world. This is supposed to be America, and there's supposed to be a criminal consequence for breaking the law. I would really like to see this happen. This wasn't a call to investigate, by the way, but that's all we've seen and heard. This time it's, hey, the investigation's been done. I really think it'd be a good idea to write James Comer, Republican, in Congress, and Representative Anna Paulina Luna, Republican, in Congress, and tell them you support this and you want it fucking pushed. Start freezing their money. Take away their own private money because they're breaking the law, right? That we got to get the dominoes started somehow. Somehow. If I fuck up, well, I'm going to jail. There's no doubt about it, right? There's no doubt about it. I tell you. Okay, folks. I've got so many good things. I got some comments. Where am I at? Here we go. Let's go with this. Trump said he would designate Antifa and other radical terrorist type groups. He wants to call them domestic terror organizations. Why is that taking so long? He is the chief law enforcement executive officer of the land. Fucking do it. You put it on a piece of paper and you sign it. He says, I would do that 100%. Then fucking do it. Right? And he wants RICO, which is organized crime, charges brought against them. He says, because they should be put in jail. Great, then go arrest them. They know who they are. They've got all of their Discord accounts, all of their social media accounts, their gaming accounts. No more talk, no more bullshit, no more promises. Just fucking do it. How many more normal Americans need to be assaulted, property damaged, arson, looting, murders, terrorism? How much longer should it persist? I mean, have we, you and I, Americans, not been very clear we're tired of seeing this? From the girl on the train to Charlie Kirk to fucking police officers to regular people who will never be in the news. They get fucking assaulted. They get beat on. Properties damaged. That won't make it in the news because it's not big enough. Stores that are looted. It's all the same people because they're getting away with it. I would like to see that change. I don't know if it's going to happen. Now, I really wanted to share this one. Barack Obama took a shot, a kind of a personal attack on President Trump after he came out and made his first public remarks about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Is this more kabuki bukkake theater? Or is Obama now thinking he needs to come out and attack Trump? Is that like the public face of private actions that are happening behind the scenes? You know, I wish I could say yes, I believe that, but I don't. I think it is more kabuki theater. You know, I'm not a believer in this 5D chess and that Trump is lining them all up. And one day we're going to wake up and everyone's arrested in jail. And there's a military tribunal that's happened, and certain cities will be in lockdown, and the bad guys are going to jail. Then they're going to pay off miraculously all of our house loans and car loans. I don't buy that shit. But I sure would like to see some fucking arrests, wouldn't you? I'd like to see that. Good golly. And I would like to see, as Oliver was talking about the other day, the mainstream media punished for what they do. So here we go. The Federal Communications Commission chairman, that's the federal government, folks, the FCC chairman, has threatened action against ABC, the network, because Jimmy Kimmel told an audience that a MAGA, Make America Great Again conservative, killed Charlie Kirk. Now, my problem here is more threats. Whoop-de-fucking-do. How about, here, I got an idea. You want to send a real message? How about suspend their broadcast license for 30 days? Take ABC off the air for 30 fucking days. It's not like we don't have NBC, MSNBC, NBC, BUTT, NBC, and CNN, and every satellite channel and news network and Newsmax and Fox News. There's plenty of news out there. We don't need ABC or any of their fucking stuff. So take them off the air for 30 days and give them $1 billion fine. You want to talk about news stations and broadcast stations cleaning their shit up like that? They're all going to lose their fucking jobs. They're out of fucking business. They're done. Right? So that's why these threats don't work. Once again, it just sounds to me like the bad parent telling the kid, you just wait. You do that again and you're in trouble. Don't make me tell you again. How many times do I have to tell you? After a while, a child can figure out that they're not really going to be in trouble. They're not really going to be in trouble. Because they never get in trouble. That's all I keep fucking hearing. And I'm sick and tired of these fucking losers in Washington like Pam Bondi and Cash Patel talking shit. But I got to tell you, it's not going to change anything. But I read this and I thought, that's a good one. Cash Patel, who is the FBI director, is in Congress. And all the Congress idiots are trying to shoot him down and make him look bad and embarrass him and play gotcha and everything else. So Cash Patel and Democrat shitheel Swallows Well is the one who was fucking the Chinese spy Fang Fang. So Cash Patel had enough of his shit, and he finally says, I call bullshit on your entire career in Congress. Nah, nothing's going to change, but I thought that was a good one. I wish he would stand up and say, I'm done with you guys. You won't do your fucking jobs. And by being here, I can't do my jobs. I'm going to go out right now, and I'm going to get some warrants, and I'm going to come and arrest you guys in here that are criminals. How fucking cool would that be? Well, don't hold your breath, right? Don't hold your breath. It's not going to happen. It really isn't. Now, this is important. I'm going to get back over here to this. World War III. When was the last time you heard that U.S. military officers were invited to appear, observe, and participate in a joint Russia-Belarus military drill? You heard me right, folks. U.S. military personnel going and observing, that means looking at, working with, talking to Russian military and Belarus military having a joint drill. Well, but Russia's our enemy, and we supply Russia's enemy, Ukraine, with weapons and intel. Why would Russia allow this? Just what the hell kind of a game is being played on the world? I have my ideas, folks, why this is going on. But it's just absolutely bizarre. Right? If I was Putin and another country was giving my enemy weapons to kill my men with, there's no fucking way in hell I would allow them near my military. I would not allow anyone near them. So what's going on? I don't have a good answer. I do not. I do not have a good answer. But I'm going to be watching this shit. I'm going to be watching this shit. Okay, well, I'm going to stop right here. I want to flip over to you guys. I want to hear what you have to say. And folks, chance favors the prepared mind. It is time for the inner circle, and that's you guys. And we're back to the bunker and back for the inner circle. Mr. Uman says we've got a lot of questions and stuff. Redneck Roughneck says there was a black student named Trey Reed. He was found hanging in a tree on a college campus in a state none other than Mississippi burning. Something to keep an eye on. I've kept my eye on it, and here's where it goes. When I first saw that, I thought, oh, shit, here we go. Well, guess what? All of the people out there playing the race card playing they're lynching blacks. No, sorry. The guy committed suicide. They even have him on video buying the fucking rope in a store. He hung himself. Why? I don't know. Was there a letter? Did he give a message? I don't know. He hung himself. It's really a tragedy. Did I say he was a black guy? I can't remember, but he was, yeah. Terrible, terrible. I think there's a problem with youths out there. And it's a serious problem. And it was a problem I noticed about other countries when I was a young man in school. I noticed, and this is speaking more directly about terrorists, is they'll kill anybody, anytime, over anything, because it'll terrorize others and make them more powerful. Because people will become afraid. They'll stay in their homes. They'll do as they're told. They won't talk back. They won't question authority, right? They'll sissify. And that's why I have to be here, so that nobody can terrorize my country. No fucking ridiculous Muslims, no fucking Secret Service companies like Mossad or CIA. I'm not afraid of them. Go ahead and kill me. Right? Right. That's what terrorism does, is it makes you afraid to live, and it makes you submissive and servient to them. Right? But what I said was, terrorists see blood as cheap. It is life is not valued. And what we're seeing in the youths of America, I think, is some of them have become left-wing terrorists. And a lot of these people out here, these young people, sadly, and I think this is important for all of us, just as Americans, but it has an SHTF tie to it, is they don't see their lives as important. They don't see themselves as getting ahead. They don't see a future, because they're not being told and taught. You've got to work hard. You're going to bust your ass for years and even decades before you have any semblance of success. Not everyone graduates college, gets a fucking executive job, and makes $500,000 a year. That is rare. The rest of us have busted our ass from the ground up. Talked to another guy today, just like me. He was 52, not 55. Lost millions of dollars because of fuck-ups, because of government action. 2008, he got screwed over, and interesting fellow. He paid off all of his subcontractors, made sure everyone got paid, but he took it in the shorts and lost his entire wealth because the government caused the collapse of 2008. They fucked everyone over. They caused booms and busts. He got nailed by the bust. In any event, I think these young folks, they don't see a clear future. They don't. They're being told you can't make it. They're being told it should be easier. You've got a degree in gender studies. You should be a CEO of Coca-Cola. No. In any event, sad story. Thank you, Redneck Roughneck, for bringing it up. Hopefully some lessons can be learned and his family is consoled. It's a very tragic thing. Mr. Uman, let us continue if we shall. We've got Chin Music. Everything leftists get involved in is fluid. Sick, sick, sick fucks. Remember a couple of weeks ago when they were outraged by an ad for jeans? Ah, the good old days. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney is the jeans girl. She's an attractive person, and but calling her the sexiest woman alive, I just don't see it. Don't see it. I just don't see it. But she's a hottie, and everyone's got the fever for the hottie with the naughty body, right? Anyways, yeah, a couple weeks ago, but everything is it's fluid. We can be distracted, and we get distracted. And look at this shiny object. Oh my God, bloody object. Oh, over here another object. Again, the objective is to keep us distracted, confused. But there's so many things, folks. It's not just this, that, or the other. There's literally hundreds of things right now on our plate. And I bet if we sat down and said, let's remember all the things we're not supposed to forget, you'd fill up pages in a book. All of the different people that have been affected, businesses, Republicans, events, world events. Like, did you guys, you forget about Japan and the problem they're having with Muslim invaders, that their government started to influence and bring in. They wanted to bring in, I think, 500,000 Indians. And the people have had enough of that shit already. Japan is a very interesting country. They didn't wait till they're overrun on the streets. They've seen enough, and they're done with it. They're fucking throwing it out. They're not like the British, extra polite, always trying to get their politicians to do shit. They're on the fucking streets already with Chinese rising sun flags. Right? There's so many things that we barely cover, that we barely talk about, and that we forget because the next thing comes along. And they do that on purpose. That's part of the attrition game, or wearing down the enemy. They want to wear us down. I mean, I know man, and I know I'm exhausted on Charlie Kirk, but it's not done. But I'm exhausted on it because it's mentally fucking exhausting. There's so many angles and so many stories and so many side stories and tertiary on top of tertiary components to it. But I'm just fucking done with it. But it's not just Charlie Kirk. It's all of the other bullshit that goes with it. Right? Just these fucking people. Right? For example, another ABC jackass. The guy's name is Matt Gutman. His name should be Matt Buttman. He has now been forced to apologize because he was describing the assassin's text messages with his furry transgender boyfriend. He called it very touching. Well, this LGBT pedophile woke DEI crap has backfired on him. Oh, it's so touching. What a fucking great love story. Oh, the homosexual love that they shared. Well, now this dumbass comes out and says he quote deeply regrets it. But isn't gay love for an assassination touching and even sexy, and we should all try for it? These fucking jerk-offs are literally a bunch of fucking jerk-offs. But that's what they're going to wear us out with this shit. But that's the plan. I think that's part of the fucking program. But there's fucking angle after angle. I'll get to more angles in a bit. Man, let's see what else we got out there. We got Mikey G. Rowe. I did not know this. Thank you, Mr. Mikey. And folks, I think Mikey G might know some stuff about some military stuff. He says Moldova has the largest armory or stockpile of Soviet-era weapons and ammo. Now, what is... Here's another one we forgot. The Soviet Union. Communism. Right? So I'm training a new employee today, and I made it about 5 fucking minutes. And I look at the guy, and I go, I just got to ask you, where do you fucking stand politically? Because I'm not going to work with you if you are fucked in the head. And he's like, well, I got an FFL license. It's a federal firearms license. And I hate communists. I say, good, because I think they should all fucking die. That's what we used to deal with communists. The Soviets were communist Russians. And they swore a blood oath to kill us as much as any Muslims swear a blood oath to kill infidel Christians. As much as any other religion that says we're going to turn white Christians into our bitches, our slaves. We're going to kill them. We don't need them. We're going to steal their property. Anyone that says that, right? The Soviets were the same way. Now they're Russia. They're more free market. They don't want to fuck anybody. They just want to, be a safe, sane culture and country. I'm not saying that there aren't bad Russians over there. I'm not saying that Putin's a great guy. But back then, Soviets, their economy was an industrial and an agricultural country. That's the sickle and hammer. The sickle is for harvesting. The hammer is for, production, whatever. But they used to make shit piles of weapons. That's why AK-47s are fucking everywhere. They're cheap pieces of shit guns that will fire and shoot and work no matter what. They're amazing. I watched a guy take one, opened up the thing, put a ham sandwich in it, shut the ham sandwich, and just fired it. And that thing just Even a ham sandwich couldn't stop it. It was good stuff. Anyways, Soviet era weapons and ammo. Now that makes sense, does it not? Does it not? If Moldova has, whether it's the largest or just a really big one, there's guns, there's bullets. I'm sure their tanks are pieces of shit if they have tanks. If they have any Hind helicopters, I'm sure they don't fucking work. But they're everyday run-of-the-mill AK-47s and RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades. They work just fine. They're being used still down in Afghanistan and Iraq and around the world, even though they were made pre-1990. And the Soviet Union fell in 91, 92. And they just couldn't keep making weapons because who the fuck's going to buy them? Their country was destroyed economically. In any event, now, Mikey, that makes sense as to why Voldemort Zelensky wants to go in and engage in and assist a CIA, Mossad, MI6 coup d'etat of the Moldova government so they can get their hands on Russian weapons that are still working, still there in a large supply, apparently, so they can have their anti-Trump program. And then I still think that they want to take the Moldovians, conscript them or draft them into the war. Well, they'll only do that if they get control of the government, install their puppet like Zelensky, who is a puppet, and he's a butt puppet at that. They'll get another puppet in Moldova who will say, yeah, we're going to go fight those Russians. Makes sense, does it not? Thank you, Mikey. I really appreciate you bringing up that little bit of information. Okay, like I said, it's a developing story, and now it's just a little more clear what the point is. Other than just getting people to kill, they need weapons. Okay, let us continue if we shall. Mr. Uman, who else is out there with something to say? And Uman wants to address my comment about high fuel prices and inflation. He says, Ecuador's President Noboa, not Venezuela. So you got Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador on the Pacific side. Ecuador's President Noboa implemented a 60-day state of emergency in an attempt to quell mass protests that broke out following the removal of the diesel subsidy last week. What does that tell you? It's not just us feeling the pinch. And in fact, I think I've said this before. Countries like the United States, some European nations, China, we enjoy the highest standard of living, especially the United States of America. Highest standard of living, the lowest cost for everything. But, and so when our countries are doing great, the United States and the other top tier countries, we spend money around the world. We go on vacations. We buy products and goods from other countries. But when things start getting nasty in America, we tighten our belts. And we stop going on vacations. We stop buying goods that we don't need, right? We're like, hey, we're starting to get hurt. And that really puts the squeeze on emerging market and smaller nations. And a country like Brazil is immense and powerful. Lots of natural resources, lots of food production, lots of manufacturing. Russia's the same way. China's the same way. The U.S. is trying to make its way back there. But, yeah, they take away a diesel subsidy. That is the government going into debt to lower the cost of diesel in order to make it cheap or less expensive for people to conduct business. And so they take that away, and now we have mass protests, right? Most places around here, says Uman, have regular for $3.22 to $3.39. Diesel is, of course, more expensive. You kind of pay for fuel now by the BTU. I think we need to get rid of BTUs. That's the British thermal unit. I think we need the ATU, the American thermal unit. It can be the same size, but let's stop calling it the British thermal unit, fuckers. I love the British people. I hate the British government. They're a bunch of lying, absolutely lying sacks of pieces of shit that don't have a problem with all the young girls in England being raped. They'll just cover it up. Fuck it. In any event, there's going to be trouble worldwide, folks. And in a way, it's Trump's fault. And you're going to be like, well, I thought you liked Trump. Well, see, what he's got to do is he's got to bring the economic engine back into America and pump some life into it. That means we're going to be taking it out of other countries. And his way of doing his art of the deal and all his tariffs and all his threats and all his stuff is very, shall we say, disorganizing, confusing. It causes chaos because it takes away the certainty. And when there's no certainty in business, how do you plan for next year or the next 5 years? How do you plan to expand your operation or your mine or your farm if you don't know what the economy is going to do because the guy in charge keeps dicking with it every other fucking day? Well, that's why, like right now, the fucking stock market's at all-time highs, but it's one of the most chaotic fucking places on the planet. So if you think we've got it rough here in America, maybe this was Uman's upshot. If you think you got it rough here, will you go move to Ecuador? Fuck that, right? I don't want to live anywhere else because it's not going to be any better. It just isn't. I'm expecting a lot of chaos, and we could end up with, of course, potentially SHTF and Mad Max on a much higher scale. We're already in a fucking crazy world, right? Already there. But there's some big pushback. Screwing with Charlie Kirk was a big problem, and now there's a pushback on lots of different levels. Lots of different levels. In fact, there's something here that couldn't have come fast enough, but it's not done. Do you know the House filed a resolution? A resolution that was yesterday to remove bald-headed, ugly Somalian bitch Ilhan Omar from all of her committee assignments because she mocked the cold-blooded murder of Charlie. Well, she has been just an absolute embarrassment to herself, to her family, to America, and she's not even American. She's born in Somalia. She insults America all the time. She lies. I think we need to just deport her, not just take her off committee assigners, but deport her for perjurious statements. You're not allowed to lie on documents. That's perjury. That's a federal crime. Her fraud, her incest, promoting terrorism, putting Somalia first over America and stating that. She's a piece of shit. Got nothing. Redneck Roughneck says, well, have they all got our next giant nothing burger ready, or did Congress censure Ilhan Omar? I haven't heard. I didn't see anything today about censoring her. I haven't heard if they voted to remove her from committees. Right? There's a big push, as you just kind of stated, for, well, Representative Maggot Mike Johnson, because he's no MAGA. He is a maggot Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? He is a giant sack of shit. He looks like a greasy little... He looks to me like a wormy little fuck. And he is. He just is. I just can't stand that piece of shit. He was put up there as MAGA, Make America Great Again. What has he done? Can anyone name a single fucking thing he's done that was not someone else's idea that he stole? What has he really done? Well, let's see. He gave Republicans and Democrats a 6-week vacation instead of voting to release the Epstein files. That's what he's done. He's covered obstruction. Thank you, man. He's been really good at obstructing justice, delaying justice, dragging his fucking feet. That's him. That's our good buddy. All right, Mr. Uman. Thank you, sir. That was clever. It caught me off guard. But yeah, obstruction. He's fucking great at it. Obstructing justice. He should be charged with the crime, knowing there's criminals that need to be arrested, and he is impeded and instructed and gotten in the way of it. All right, man. Who's next here on the Prepared Mind channel? Oh, by the way, depending on the platform you're on, thumbs up, heart, like, share, etc., etc. Wild River Prepper says, geez, 5 officers shot in Pennsylvania this afternoon. I need more information on this, folks. 5 officers is a lot. Now, we've seen the ambush killings of police in the past. 1 or 2 officers, right, that are like in a squad car. They're having lunch. They're just parked. They're sitting. They're watching. Someone sneaks up on the car and pops them in the car, right? Or you'll hear that 1 or 2 police are shot in a hostage scenario, a bank robbery, some other crime in progress. But to get 5 police officers, and hopefully none of them are dead, but to shoot 5 police officers, that's interesting. They're not just going to stand there and let you fucking shoot them. They're not retarded. Right? They're going to stand behind their cars. They're going to take cover. They're going to return fire. They're going to call for fucking backup. They're not going to go into a situation and expose themselves, right, unnecessarily. So 5 police officers were taken down. Now, one of the few times that this many police officers have been shot was the bank robbers in L.A. that watched the movie Heat and they got a bunch of body armor, went and robbed a bank. They had fully auto guns, and the police were like, "We're outgunned. We're outgunned." They had, AK-47s, full auto, and all we have is 9mm. Well, all the cops I've ever seen have AR-15s and fucking riot shotguns too. So I don't, that was just some serious fucking LA cop whining on that one. But yeah, a lot of cops got shot on that. So to shoot this many, I guess I'm going to have to wait and get more details tonight because I haven't got any more details. Uh-oh, Uman's pointing down. Uh-oh, okay, well, we got more details? Let's do it, man. Let's see the details. Give it to me, brother. Wait. 5 officers shot while serving a warrant. I'm blind as a fucking bat, I guess, man. Sorry about that. He's like, it's right here. He's right here, stupid. All right. 3 reportedly in grave condition. That's terrible. So, according to NBC, the alleged suspect is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot. That's interesting. So 3 of them are in ICU or critical condition. 5 shot. Why would 5 police be serving a warrant? Well, I guess they could have been doing one of those no-knock warrants, but this happened in the daylight, in the afternoon. Interesting. I guess we're going to find out more details. Was this person military or not? Was it a cop or not? Don't know. But to shoot 5 cops is it's not a simple task because they're trained in, I'm going to use the term basic combat or confrontational tactics, right? How not to get killed, in other words. All right, Mr. Uman, thank you for that. What other topics do we have on the board with you guys? Redneck Roughneck says, Uman, I see Prickster. That would be the Jabba the Prickster, who is the governor of Illinois. I see Prickster is out whining about immigrations and customs enforcement building up in Chicago and out making arrests. Will Trump have to send in the National Guard to protect ICE agents? I would love to see President Trump tell the Illinois National Guard, you are now federalized, good in there, and help clean up your fucking state. Not because I want martial law, not because I want people to get hurt, but because I want people to not get hurt, and I want criminals to be arrested, and I want to see Governor Prickster and BJ, the fucking communist piece of shit mayor of Chicago, I want to see him mad. You can't do anything about it. Trump has already won this with the courts, and I know there are still some federal judges out there willing to commit judicial insurrection to try and stop Trump. I get it. But yeah, there it is. Will Trump have to send him in? Quite possibly. Governor Prickster is just a big, slimy scumbag. Oh, he's a billionaire too, folks. Right? You know what I would like to see? I would like to see him and Chris Christie do sumo wrestling. I'd like to see that. That would be great. You know, wrap the thing around their little waist. There you go. Uman says, yep. And he said he never called Republicans Nazis or made provocative statements. The internet, folks, you can't just lie and say, I never called no one a Nazi. Well, yeah, you did, right? Every one of these fucking Democrats, these politicians are just a bunch of lying assholes. But people are screenshotting, saving, whether it's any social media or X or, messages released to the press. They say all kinds of stupid shit. And then they lie about it. But you know what? It fools Democrats. Because they're not going to go check. Just like ridiculous, retarded Republicans, they're not going to question Trump. They're not going to question the doublespeak, the bullshit, the going back, the backpedaling, the forward, the back and forth, all the games. People don't like to question their political heroes because they have a belief that we're going to be saved by them. I don't have a belief we're going to be saved by any of these guys. Certainly not the fucking Democrats. But even Trump's rescue plan, if it can save us, and I hope it does, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in his fucking second presidential term unless he starts making arrests. That's the only way this ends, is to make arrests, to take ABC off the air, to take NBC off the air, to arrest these pedophiles. You want to talk about fixing some problems? That would fix it right away. All of a sudden, it's fucking snow on ABC's channel. I say arrest Obama. You know what they say, the Democrats? You arrest Obama, you've got a war on your hands. Great. Bring it on. Now, I know a lot of people are like, John, you don't want that. No, I don't want that. I want this country fixed. We're not going to get the country fixed by talking nice, by allowing Obama to be the puppet master of lunatic left-wing murderous terrorist fucks in this country. We may as well get ready, which we are, get prepared, understand, and just get it fucking done. I'm afraid I'm going to have a fucking walker with little tennis balls on the feet and a big fully gray beard, not just my salt and pepper fucking gray, but fully gray or white beard and a big giant fat Santa belly before I have a chance to fucking help take and get rid of these people. Ooh, man. I saw someone else with a giant white beard today. Well, hell, one of the guys I work with, my boss, he's got more fucking gray in his beard than I do, and he's 10 years younger than me. I'm doing okay. I still got some color in here. Uman says, I think Trump was going to send Texas Guard to Chicago. I'm all for that, too. And Texas is a big, giant, stinking pile of shit, and I bet Chin Music would fucking second the motion. Governor Abbott is a two-faced, lying, talking out the side of his fucking neck bullshit artist. Oh, fucking Hot Wheels, I don't like him. The more I learn about him, the more he does, the more he just bullshits. Fuck him. The Texas Congress, you think that's a red state? It's fucking run by Democrats. Texas is going down the toilet. They are circling the toilet. It's terrible. It's a great fucking state. It's its own fucking republic. And they're just pissing it away and taking money from CARE and other Muslim projects. They're all trying to grease their own fucking palms. Now, anyways, fuck. What are you going to do, right? Get prepared. All right, I'm going to do this. I got to go this way. I got to do this. This stupid bitch on TV pissed off Gutfield, and I kind of like that guy. But Jessica Tarloff tried making this both sides argument about the assassination. And Gutfield jumped down her fucking throat and said, don't play that bullshit with me. Now, what was going on? Well, they're trying to rationalize, right? Right. And that's the game they fucking play to hide their bullshit. Well, both sides are doing this and that. But, so Gutfield really went after. He said, on your side, your beliefs do not match reality. So you're coming up with these rationalizations. What about this and what about that? We're not going to do that because we saw it happen, he says. We saw a young, bright man assassinated, and we know who did it, right? He says the media is dead to us on this story. They built this thing up. We're dealing with it. We're going to act. We don't care about the what about anymore. That shit is dead. There is a lot changing right now, folks. And the best thing I think we can do is continue to push our opinion at Washington. Your elected representatives, your senators, everyone you can, whether you're senators or not, send them fucking messages. Arrest, arrest, arrest. And I like the idea of the FCC finding morons and shutting down stations for all of their fucking lies. Done with it. In any event, folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and your plan. Keep informed. Share these videos. Right? Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, share, and contact representatives in Washington and tell them we want arrests, not threats. Fire Pam fucking Bondi and get a real attorney general in there. Fire Kash Patel and get a real law enforcement agent in there. Not just a guy who fits America's need to have someone look a certain way and blah, 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 blah. Make us all feel good bullshit. Fuck it. I want arrests. I want arrests. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. I'll see you 0 dark 30.